What if the real reason you feel overwhelmed in business is not that you work harder, but you need better systems? Because if your business only works when you're overthinking, overworking, and holding everything together by yourself, then this episode might be the wake up call that you need. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jameela Adams Experience, a podcast for women over 40, ready to rediscover their strength, purpose, and voice in business and in life. I'm your host, Jameela Adams, and as part of the Intentional Growth series for May, we are talking about something today that can completely change the way you run your business and protect your peace and free up your mental energy. Systems. Now, before the eye rolls and think, here we go again, spreadsheets, corporate jargon, and a whole bunch of stuff that is going to make your business feel stiff and robotic, then just stick with me for a second. I got some stuff to tell you. Here's the thing, systems are not about making your business cold, they're about creating support. They're about making sure your business does not require a brand new version of your exhaustion every single day just to keep going. If you have been stretched thin, you're mentally overloaded and constantly busy and still wondering why you still feel like you're always behind, this episode is for you. We're going to talk about systems and why they matter and what they actually are and which ones you can build first and how they can help you create a business that supports your life and it's not let it be consumed by it. So take a deep breath, grab your notebook, and let's get started. Here's the thing, a lot of business owners think they need to be more motivated, have more discipline, or just get that little oomph, that push. But honestly, sometimes you don't need more motivation, you need more structure. Because when everything is living in your head, your brain becomes the calendar, the assistant, the project manager, the follow up system, the reminder app, and that's a lot for one person to handle. So that's when every day starts to feel chaotic. Instead of you leading, you are falling behind because you're reacting. Instead of multitasking, you should be leading with intention. So we're trying to remember 10 things. Okay, I should say, when you're trying to remember 10 things all at once, even when you get things done, you still feel like everything is still chaotic and up in the air. Nothing is settled. So let's be real, because that kind of mental juggling is exhausting. And you know what that leads to? The B word. So let's slow it down a bit. It can make, without having systems, it can make you feel like you're always working and never quite caught up. It can make the simple things feel heavier than they should be. Eventually, your brain will wave a white flag, not because you're incapable, not because you're lazy, but because you were never meant to run an entire business on memory and adrenaline. So the problem is not always the workload, even though we think it is, it's not. Sometimes the problem is a lack of systems around the workload. And once you understand that, you can stop being so hard on yourself and build the system that will support what you need. Let's make this simple because sometimes people hear the word systems and immediately assume it's going to be complications. It's not. Trust me, it's not like that. A system is really just a repeatable way of doing something. It is a process you can come back to without having to reinvent the wheel every single time. This means anything you do regularly in your business can become a system if you write it down, organize it, automate part of it, or create a consistent routine around it. Let's start with client onboarding. That can be a system. Content creation can be a system. Sending invoices can be a system. You see where I'm going here with this? Booking appointments, following up with leads, delivering welcome emails, checking your finances, planning your week. It all can be systemized. So if you keep doing these things manually from scratch every single time, you're creating extra decisions, extra effort, extra opportunities for things to fall through the cracks. And trust me, I've been there. You don't want to do that. The truth is, decision fatigue is real. Every little thing you have to figure out again and again and again drains your energy. And you could be doing the things that could run your business smoothly, like using it to lead, create, serve, and grow. This is what we need to remember when we put systems in place. They're here to help us and support us when we grow. And listen, we're too grown to be making business harder than it has to be. A good system is not about control for the sake of control. It's about ease, clarity, and consistency. Okay, let's get practical because I don't want this to sound good and still not be useful. We're not trying to waste energy here. Okay, let's get practical because I don't want all this to sound good and still can't be useful. If you're wondering where to start, there are a few systems almost every entrepreneur can begin building right now. First, client onboarding. If every new client depends on you remembering what to send, where to send it, and how to explain the next step, that is a sign you need a system. Stop rewriting the same welcome letter every week. Create a template, build a checklist, decide what happens after payment, after the contract, after the first call. That kind of clarity does not just help you, but it helps your clients feel like they're cared for and they build confidence in your services. Second, content systems. So many people burn out because they treat every post, every video, every podcast, and every email as its own creative emergency. Okay, here's the thing, and I know I've said this before in previous episodes. I bundle my content for the month. That way, I don't have to keep hunting and pecking for stuff. So that is my system. I wrote a theme for the month, and each week there is a different topic under the umbrella of that theme. Check it out. It's just called bundling, and that's what I do. And I do that during my CEO time. And that was talked about in a previous episode as well. So basically, what it is that you batch your content when you can. Repurpose what you already created. That way, you don't have to keep reinventing the wheel. Use one idea multiple ways. Just like I said, a podcast episode can become a social media caption, and so on. This way, you have a system in place. And this allows you to have a repeatable rhythm for your content. You don't have to keep staring at a blank screen wondering, what am I going to write next? Because the system is already in place for you. So, third, boundaries. Yes, boundaries are a system too. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. Everybody should not have unlimited access to you just because you run the business. Okay, office hours, autoresponders, scheduling links, and a clear response time expectations are simple ways to protect your peace, your time, and your energy. They help people know how to work with you, and they help you to stop feeling like you're being pulled all over the place. So remember, protecting your energy is not unprofessional. Well, let me repeat that. Protecting your energy is not unprofessional. It's wise, it's sustainable, and it's necessary for the longevity of your business. And lastly, personal systems. This part matters because your business should support your life, not consume every ounce of it. And trust me, I had to learn that the first couple of years of being in business for myself. Maybe it looks like a shutdown routine at the end of your workday. Maybe it looks like planning your week on Sundays, which I do, part of my CEO time, blocking out family time first, and having a set day where you don't take calls. You just say, no, I'm not doing it today. Personal systems create a space for the version of success that actually feels good to live. Rest is productive too. Peace is productive too. A business that works without draining the life out of you is the goal. And once you start building systems in these key areas, you begin to notice something powerful. Here's what systems actually gives you, and it goes way beyond efficiency. They give you peace, not perfection, peace. Let me repeat that. Systems go way beyond efficiency. They give you peace, not perfection. And that's something I think all of us, especially recovering perfectionists, need to hear. So, systems give you less mental clutter. You have fewer last minute scrambles and less burnout from trying to carry every detail alone. They reduce the constant pressure of having to remember and decide everything in the moment. And honestly, systems also build confidence. I love that word. Because when your business has structure, you stop feeling like everything is hanging by a thread. You know what happens next. You know how things move, and you trust your processes more. So the confidence matters, especially when you're building something meaningful. It helps you grow more consistently. It helps you delegate more effectively. And it helps you grow without feeling like growth automatically means more chaos. Because trust me, that is something we do not need in our life is more chaos. So when you build systems, you're not just organizing tasks. You're building a business that can hold you, support you, and grow with you. So if this episode spoke to you, I want you to do one simple task this week because you know we don't leave out of here without a challenge. Take inventory. Ask yourself what part of business feels like it's more stressful than it needs to be right now. What part keeps repeating, draining me, or falling through the cracks? That is probably the place where you need to put a system in place first and foremost. Not 10 systems, not a full overhaul, just one in place where the support can begin. Start small and keep it simple. Write down the steps, create a template, set a boundary, automate one reminder. You don't have to fix everything in one weekend. Because intentional growth is not about doing more, it's about building better. And better often starts by making things easier, clearer, and more repeatable. That is what this May Intentional Growth series is all about. So, thank you all for listening and watching the Jameela Adams Experience. If this message is encouraging to you, share it with another woman in business who's ready to stop carrying everything all alone. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys taking time out listening. So, in all this, remember to be inspired, be inspiring, be encouraged, be encouraging. But most of all, I want you to be you. And like I said, until next week, I'll check you out then. Take care.